When Mark received the news of Kelly's decision, those closest to the couple say he was absolutely devastated. Friends describe him as a man shattered at his core, someone who always believed that no matter how chaotic life became, their love could survive anything. In private moments, Mark reportedly made a desperate emotional plea to Kelly, asking her to reconsider. It was a raw and vulnerable side of him that very few outside their family have ever witnessed. Mark's plea wasn't about image, pride, or their carefully balanced public life. It came from a deep well of love and regret. He admitted that somewhere along the way, he may have taken for granted the woman who had stood beside him since their early days on All My Children, the woman who brought stability, structure, and warmth into every chapter of his life. Kelly wasn't just his partner, she was his compass, the person who helped him mature from a young actor with ambition to a devoted husband, father, and ultimately a man grounded not in fame, but in family. Friends say Mark even broke down during one of their most private conversations, telling Kelly that life without her didn't make sense. Those words, they say, brought Kelly to tears, because for all their challenges, there remains a deep emotional connection, one decades in the making, that neither time nor spotlight can erase. To the outside world, Mark and Kelly always looked picture perfect, laughing on live, finishing each other's sentences, teasing in that effortless way long-married couples do. But behind closed doors, things were more complicated. Kelly's demanding schedule, her leadership role on Live, and her numerous commitments often kept her emotionally stretched thin. Meanwhile, Mark's acting projects, producing work, and frequent travel created long stretches of physical distance. Slowly, communication strained, and with each passing year, the emotional gap widened. People close to Kelly say she struggled with the weight of feeling responsible for holding their family's emotional center. While Mark's love was never in doubt, his ability to always be fully present was. Those closest to her insist the decision she faced wasn't born out of anger, but of emotional exhaustion. She needed space. She needed peace. She needed to breathe. As tension reached its breaking point, Mark made one final heartfelt attempt to save their marriage. Sources say he arranged a quiet dinner at their New York home, a place filled with memories of raising their children, celebrating milestones, and weathering storms together. He filled the space with candles, old photographs, and soft music from their early dating years. During that emotional evening, Mark poured out his heart. He told Kelly he couldn't imagine waking up without her, that she wasn't just his wife, she was the center of his entire world. Witnesses say he trembled as he spoke, fighting back tears while begging her to reconsider. It was a raw and emotional side of Mark Consuelos the public rarely sees. Raw, emotional, and utterly human. Kelly listened quietly, moved by his vulnerability. It was clear she still loved him, but love alone, she warned, might not erase the wounds that had taken years to form. Still, she agreed to pause, reflect, and consider every option before finalizing any decision. That glimmer of hope is what Mark has held on to ever since. In the days that followed, Mark reportedly spent long evenings alone, reflecting, replaying memories, and searching for ways to rebuild what had been broken. Friends say he has even considered stepping back from his professional commitments to put his family first, a sign of just how much Kelly means to him. Meanwhile, Kelly has confided in close friends that Mark's emotional honesty stirred something in her. His plea made her question whether this was truly an ending or simply a painful chapter they needed to work through. For now, the divorce process is paused. The two are focusing on communication, professional guidance, and rebuilding trust, a small but meaningful step towards healing. And through it all, their shared love for their 3 children remains their anchor, keeping them connected at a time when everything feels uncertain. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more emotional celebrity updates designed to keep you captivated until the very last moment. Don't forget to like, comment, and stay tuned for more.